Okay, so today we're going to talk you through the PC016 function for our Kenwood NX-1200 and 1300 radios. This is one of our most popular models for the education sector, and we're going to talk you through how the PC016 lockdown function works. So PC016 stands for Priority Channel Override, and the 16 is for Channel 16. These are 16 channel radios, which is quite standard for a radio of this kind of budget. These are all licensed radios, which means they're high powered and you can get them on VHF or UHF frequencies. If you haven't got an Ofcom license, we can sort that for you. There's no problem at all. That's a very easy thing to do. These are also analog and digital, so they can function on standard analog channels, but more commonly now you'll be transmitting on digital channels, which these have the capability of doing both. You can have an existing system with old kit and then eventually phase out the analog radios and switch all your system over to digital, and you won't need to reprogram them. We can program that into the radio, and then when you're ready and you've phased out enough of the old equipment, you can switch over to digital with a click of a button on the radios. So if you do have your radio set up like this, there's a button on the side, so it's just under the PTT, so the large push to talk button. The button underneath it, if you press that for a few seconds, press and hold, Zone 1, Channel 1. That's now on Zone 1, which will be your analog zone, and then as long as all the other radios are on the same zone, then they'll communicate on analog frequencies. And if we press it again for a few seconds, it'll swap to Zone 2, Channel 1. There we go, so we're on Zone 2 now, but still on Channel 1, and now that's in digital mode. And as long as all these are in Zone 2, which they should be, they'll all communicate in digital frequencies. So another thing worth adding is that in digital mode, they're also encrypted, which makes your communications much more secure. That's something that's really important at the moment for secure communications, especially within the education sector. So to use the PC016 function, what you're going to do is swap the radio that you're using to channel 16, which is the last channel. There we go. And what that now allows you to do is override whatever anyone else is communicating on. So there's 16 channels, so on the remaining 15 channels, there could be multiple people using the radios on different channels talking about various different things. And now that I'm on channel 16, if I press and hold the PTT button, it's going to send an alert tone to every single radio, no matter what channel that they are on. And then if I hold that for a few seconds, it will then open the microphone on my radio. I can transmit, and it will override whatever anyone else is talking about and transmit that message to everyone on the radio network. Now that's really important, because if it's a critical message in an emergency situation, someone could be talking about anything unimportant on channel 1, channel 3, whichever channel from 1 to 15, and I'm going to completely override that, and my message will get to absolutely everyone. As long as their radio is on, they will hear it. It's also worth noting that that means that channel 16 is not really an open communications channel, so you've got 1 to 15 then as your open communications channels, and then 16 is just earmarked for this lockdown function. So I'm going to press and hold PTT on the side of the radio now. It's the same button that you use to transmit when you're using these radios normally. So these could be on various different channels. In fact, I'm going to turn them. That one's going to be on channel 5. That one's going to be on channel 8. Channel 8. There's a couple of radios on different channels, and if I press and hold this, when I'm on channel 16, everyone gets the flashing lights and the emergency tone, and now everyone can hear me speak on channel 16. So if you've got an important message in an emergency situation, that can be broadcast to absolutely everyone. It's not limited to the number of radios on your system. You could have 100 of these on site, and that will transmit to absolutely everyone. If you are implementing this in your school, it might be worth having a protocol for a channel to revert to after the emergency message is transmitted. So you might designate that channel 15 is then swapped to for everyone to communicate on in an emergency situation. It's worth noting that this isn't the only radio system to offer this, but it is certainly one of the most cost-effective and simple ways to implement a lockdown function across a licensed digital radio system. You can do this function in far more sophisticated radio systems. For example, Motorola have their Capacity Plus and Capacity Max systems, which has features similar to this functionality, but there's a vast amount of infrastructure that is involved to implement something like that, whereas these radios are back-to-back, so there's no repeater involved, so they are out of the box, programmed, ready to use, and this feature is quite unique to this radio system, which is why it's become so popular in schools, colleges, and universities. Thanks for listening. If you want any more information regarding this system, please just get in touch with us. You can call us, email us, or visit our website, and we'll be happy to help.